Okay, so here's the pitch. Imagine a historical period piece set in Korea during the Joseon era, but with zombies. Kingdom, a South Korean action zombie drama series that has gained a worldwide following since the release of its first season on Netflix. 6 episodes, each spanning from 45 minutes to almost an hour long. Zombies, sword fights, adventure, and some truly amazing hats. For some reason, these sort of genre crossovers always make me a little hesitant, as they often have the potential to turn out to be really cheesy or not well made. However, as I am a huge fan of South Korean cinema and an even bigger fan of Boon Day, who American audiences might know from Sense8, I gave this show a chance. Plus, the 8.5 rating from IMDb also helped. I am by no means in love with the zombie genre, and because of that, I am far from an expert on it. But in my opinion, this show's production level was top of the line. The acting is good, the story is set up really well within the span of the first episode, and the costume design is out of this world. But let me back up a bit and give you the basic plot overview first. Directed by Kim Sun-hoon, who also directed 2016's Tunnel, the story of this show centers around Prince Chang as he and his trusty bodyguard investigate a mysterious and disturbing plague that is spread throughout the kingdom. As you might suspect, there is plenty of action to keep you satisfied, but there's also a lot of great historical and cultural detail that adds a richness to the show that separates it from your typical zombie movie or series. If I'm being honest, I think it took me about 3 episodes to really get hooked. But once I was hooked, I was hooked. The show is just genuinely entertaining. The characters, although they exist within this zombie action-based universe, are still developed just enough for you to really care what happens to them. Although for the most part the show is pretty dark and pretty bleak, there is a healthy dose of comic relief mixed in, which adds a sort of balance to the overall tone. There is also plenty of emotional substance, besides the terror and fear of zombies coming to kill you, that is. The main characters are ones you can easily root for, and as they meet new people and develop friendships or have disagreements, you become closer to them in small increments, in the way only an action-adventure narrative can do. Adding on to my point about the show being more than just some gore fest with people screaming, even though there is plenty of that for those of you who are into it, the show also touches on some pretty important themes and makes some interesting commentary. It's about power and politics, the ruling class and their treatment of the lower class, and how that relationship reflects the strength or weakness of the society at large. As you watch the show, think about how the lower class is depicted, and look for the consistent reminders of social status and rank. There are several scenes showing villagers in large groups being left behind or made expendable that are just heartbreaking. This abandonment is shown in many ways throughout the show. There are also characters that travel outside of their social class, whether by choice or by circumstance, and are faced with realities they did not know of beforehand. The question of humanity is also raised throughout the narrative. Scenes where social rank must be thrown out in order to survive against a supernatural force. The zombies are monsters who do not care whether who they attack is royalty or peasant, leveling the playing field, exposing everyone as equal, merely human beings. Can the people of the kingdom, lower and upper class, work together to defeat a common enemy? The entire idea of zombies spreading everywhere and going on a rampage could even be compared to the spread of poverty and hunger in the kingdom, a sort of metaphor for the consequences of the abandonment of the lower class by the ruling one. Without dropping any spoilers, or for those of you who have already seen the show, this comparison or metaphorical reading makes sense when you think about how the show depicts the origin and spread of the plague, who it begins with and who it spreads to. Or maybe I just don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyways, aside from the more heady stuff, I don't want to take anything away or devalue the action in the show. The fight choreography is splendid, the battle sequences are epic and thrilling. There are many instances in the show where the main characters are journeying to various places, and the landscapes shown in these shots are breathtaking. Now, I tried to do a little research, and maybe one of you guys watching this video will know more than me, and if you do, please comment down below so everyone else can find out. but I do not think that these are all CGI shots. I know for a fact that shooting was done on location in South Korea, but I don't know too much more than that. Regardless, the show looks beautiful, and these landscapes or depictions of nature aren't just on display as a backdrop for wide shots when characters are traveling, but also during fight scenes and scenes where characters are having conversations. The show creates this amazing contrast of the gore and violence of zombies with the aesthetic of nature and natural beauty. Another part of the overall aesthetic of the show is the absolutely amazing costume design. From the royalty and the ruling class to the peasants or the soldiers, every group within the show seems to have their own special uniform. Okay, so here's the bottom line. This is a pretty good show. You don't have to be a zombie fan to like this show, but if you do not like zombie violence, people getting bitten and eaten, blood, gore, guts, you might want to stay clear if you're a bit squeamish. It's my hope that people that are big fans of the zombie genre who might not have checked out any South Korean stuff before will be able to use this show as a way into exploring an entire different area of filmmaking. If you're somebody like that right now, I definitely suggest checking out more South Korean cinema and shows. They make some pretty good stuff. Also, before you ask, yes, the second season is coming. Although, as of when this video goes up on YouTube, it still might be a pretty long wait. It is definitely already confirmed to be happening, as the show has become extremely popular. It's fun, it's action-packed, it looks beautiful. Kingdom on Netflix. Go check it out. This is TwoTenEast. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and if you're looking for some more shows to watch, go check out my other videos. I will catch you next time, guys. I'm out.